Hello everyone, my name is Oliver Biggins and I am the director and film cinematographer of the Narnia Boy Series, and today I'm going to be discussing with you the techniques and just the overall ways in which we filmed and we creatively figured out how we wanted to make Narnia Boy. Specifically in this episode we'll be discussing Narnia Boy 2. So let's just get right into it and stop the video. Just going to stop it every once in a while and explain our overall motive for certain scenes and our vision. Okay, so the first thing you see in Narnia Boy 2 is Derek stepping out in between two trees. Now, these trees are very significant. A long time ago, I learned about pillars. You see, ancient Greeks, they had these pillars to show significance to certain buildings. And so I wanted to kind of capture that feel, because Narnia Boy, he's an ethereal being, he's beyond our comprehension, and so I wanted to show his godlike nature with these pillars. But of course, we're on a budget, we don't have actual pillars, and so where do we start? We start in between two specific trees. It's truly a marvelous moment, and let's just keep going. Alright, so he walks along, and
only one gag to
okay,
rule them
so
all.
let's stop here. This is just a beautiful shot of our actor. It's amazing. Derek here is just looking straight into the camera, and typically when you are filming a film, of course, you don't want your actors to look straight into the camera because it takes away the immersion of watching these characters, and that you yourself are not part of the film. But once again, we are expressing directly to the audience that Derek is not your typical antagonist, protagonist, however you wish to interpret him. He is beyond that. He is a god. And so he can see us, he can communicate to us, and I was just very proud of this one. Let's keep going. Let's skip ahead a little bit. Okay, so in this scene, we can see Derek, he's going after Jezebel, and he gives Jezebel an offer. Now, the thing about this scene is that it's very different in the sense that we start from one direction and we just go all the way, spin the camera around to another direction. It's a little more high-tech. You don't see this very often in our Narnia Boy films, but we thought that having something a little more just raw and real would give it that cinematic edge. Alright, so, oh yes, this is great. So, the entrance of Mina's character, rolling on the ground, is definitely, it was a characteristic choice, and I didn't have anything to do with it, but I thought it was great, and we just went with it. Okay. So this scene of Derek on the bench performing just the most raw poetry. I mean, a lot of this is just improvised. I don't actually just go ahead and tell them what to say. This is Derek's mind coming out, and I think it's an extraordinary piece. My favorite thing about it is that we have the two main characters in the shot, and you have Derek, you have Jezebel, and in the background we also have Greg. Now Greg is a very mysterious character. We don't know much about him yet. We might know more about him in the future of the Narnia Boy series, but in this whole entire film, what's very interesting is that in every single shot you can see him in the background. The meaning, we don't know yet, or at least you don't know yet, but it's just so special that them being on each side and him being in the center, and then pulling it all together, drawing your eye completely to the center of the screen. Greg is holding this stick, and it's just right in the center of his chest, and it goes down kind of penile-like past his legs, and it's just perfect. It's beautiful. Okay, let's skip ahead to, oh yes, okay, this is one of the most important scenes in the film, the slow-mo walk. Now, in this shot we have our gang of misfits all going off to save Jezebel, and it was a creative choice to have them walk in slow motion, inspired by my favorite cinematic films. There's this one film, I don't think it's very popular, I haven't heard many people talk about it. It's called Guardians of the Galaxy, and there's this scene where just the main characters walk in slow motion, and I thought, wow, how did they do that? How did they make them walk in slow motion? And I looked it all up, and what I found out is that they didn't even have them walk slowly. They just took the footage and they slowed it down. And so I was inspired by that, and we made this sequence of them. But of course this is Narnia Boy, so there's a bit of a twist, and so they all trip, and it's just beautiful. Okay, let's keep going. Alright, so we have Jezebel. The big reveal is Jezebel has been converted into the new Narnia Boy, has taken over the mantle, and this is the big moment in which Derek reveals his true self. And so Derek walks out into this shot, and it's a very interesting shot, because everyone else in the shot in this specific moment is not even seen. We only have Jezebel, we have Derek, and then very, very far to the right we have Greg, of course. It almost looks like an album cover. I think I must have been subconsciously thinking about just the spacing of having these three people in a row. It's just fantastic. Small, medium, large, like Goldilocks, but it's cinema. Let's keep going. Alright. So, the final shot of the film, before the credits, of course, Jezebel walks over and puts her arms out, and it's just, I think this is an amazing shot. It's kind of terrifying, and I think it really captures the essence of how powerful this ethereal energy is. And as you can see, back right next to those trees, which once again represent the pillars. It's just fantastic. But yeah, there we have it. This is my analysis and explanation of how we decided, specifically when it comes to the cinematography and just the character choices of structure, standing, how we came to figure that all out, and the reasoning behind it all. I hope you enjoyed. Yeah. We'll see you next time in our next Narnia Boy explanation video, and have a good night.